Welcome to the Barbershop Breakdown. Your man Roscoe Squeeze Off with
Rich Blackman.
All right, today we're going to come at you with an interesting topic. It's been pretty much nationwide. It's been a party affiliated type thing between Democrats, Republicans, independents, and whoever, and state to state. And it's been talking about minimum wage. So we want to talk to you guys about, what do you think? What should it be? What should minimum wage be? Should there be a minimum wage? Go ahead and start us off, Rich.
Well, I personally feel as though there should be a minimum wage. And the reason why I say this is because I feel as though if there is no minimum wage, that you're going to have a lot of companies really trying to, undercut and lowball and things of that sort. And it kind of gives them free reign to say, hey, look, you know what we're hiring for right now. That job pays $5.25 an hour, which I believe that, you need a good wage for people to live and survive on, man. In this day and age, nobody can survive off, I think the base minimum wage is still in a lot of states at this point in time is $7.25. Person can't survive off of that, man. So I definitely think that there should be a minimum wage set in place.
Well, I hear where you're coming from. I'm the opposite, and this has nothing to do with party affiliation. Make it clear to everyone, nothing to do with party affiliation, just my own personal thoughts. I don't think there should. As a business guy who's been in business for a number of years, I just don't believe that minimum wage is something that should be set by the state, or the federal minimum wage is $7.25. I don't think federal should have anything to do with it, the government at all. It's a business thing. If I decide I own a convenience store, if I want to pay my cashier $1 an hour, one or two things are going to happen. One is I'm not going to get anyone that's going to take that job, or two, I'm going to get what I pay for. So I'm not going to get a quality person. So I believe that, the wage can be made to almost by itself, because it's going to take, someone's only going to take a job that they're willing to do for that price. And then also the person only going to give, they're going to give what it takes to get the job done in a quality of enough fashion that they can accept. So when you start making the wage, like, for example, I was scrolling down the states, all the minimum wages in different states. Now, it is kind of strange that, and me and Rich were just talking about this, that it seems like most of the states that don't have a minimum wage, that only go by what the federal mandates, which is $7.25, are, well, matter of fact, I won't say anything about the states. I'll just read them out to you. Alabama. Let me hold up. Let me keep it going. Louisiana. Mississippi. New Hampshire is one. That's the odd one. South Carolina. Tennessee. West Virginia does have one, but those are the ones I see right now. And I'm not throwing anything out. That's it. I did say Alabama, right?
You did.
Oh, yeah. And Georgia as well. Yeah, Georgia for the most part as well.
And the Carolinas too.
Yeah, the Carolinas is exactly. So I'm not going to say anything about those states. Take from that what you want, unless you want to say anything, Rich. But it seems like those states already don't like the idea of a minimum wage. And that's not the reason why I'm saying. I'm just saying that business kind of works itself out. And what I'm scared of is that when you start mandating, like DC has, as of July 1st this year, they're currently at $13.25, but if it's July 1st this year, they'll be at $14 an hour minimum wage. That means when a 14-year-old kid that gets a work permit, works for a couple hours a day, they make $14 an hour to do whatever they do. Whether that's make snowballs, serve drinks, I do mean soft drinks, or whatever that is, you know what I mean? They'll make $14 an hour. That's more than some people that have a professional career in some states will make. What do you think about that, Rich?
My thing is this. I feel as though when it comes down to it, all those states that you said, I'm going to be real, man. They're southern states. And, you know, I believe that a lot of those states still are kind of, how can I say it without being politically incorrect? What is it? Jim Crow?
Have some history behind them.
Have some history behind them in the Jim Crow law. Isn't that what it is?
It was Jim Crow states, without question.
Yeah. So, you know, I believe that they feel as though it's just.
They're used to cheap labor. They are very, very cheap. Cheap as you can get it.
Exactly. And that's where I'm going with that. You know what I mean? I really feel as though no matter what job you work, and I mean, even at 15, say for instance, minimum wage, $15 an hour. In this day and age, that's not even enough. But at least it will kind of help you out a little bit more. And the thing that I was saying before, as far as, okay, if your minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, you're going to need government assistance. There's no doubt, hands down, you're going to need government assistance. This is where the food stamps are going. You're working 40 hours. You're going to need food stamps. You're going to need medical benefits. And in some cases, you're going to probably need temporary cash to also assist you to at least try to maintain. So I'm thinking, you know, if they have a minimum wage, the states that have a minimum wage and raise the minimum wage, $15, $16, $17 an hour, things of that sort, that you may still need government assistance, but it would be limited. You may need medical, but not necessarily food stamps. You may need food stamps, but maybe not so much housing. You know, so I think that it would definitely ease up on the amount of people that need government assistance and what kind of assistance they need from the government, which in return will let some pressure off of the taxpayers.
Well, hold on. Let me flip side that coin, because I think we'll have an adverse effect. Let's just say they do make, you know, minimum wage in most states $15 an hour. I think what's going to happen is, first of all, you're going to have any old business with old people working there. They're going to close their business. I mean, with old ownership, they may close their business down if it's very small, because they won't be able to afford to stay in business. If you were paying $7.25 today in Carolina, and now all of a sudden they made it, I mean, it's going to be over time, but in the next 7 years, it's going to be at $15. You're going to plan to go out of business. And then if you're bordering, and then the other thing is, if you're a bordering state, so let's just say Delaware has one is $9.25 an hour, and then DC is $14 an hour. Well, let's say Maryland, because it's close, it's right, they border each other. Why wouldn't a business that's near the border, within 50 miles of that border, move to the next state? If they possibly can. You see what I'm saying? Because in that way, they don't have to pay that amount. And then the last thing is, if it takes 25 people to mandate your store, what's going to stop businesses from, we complain about customer service at an all-time low now. What's to stop them from lowering the amount of people to do the job? If I got to pay you $15 an hour, you're going to do a lot more. So instead of 25 people, we're going to do the same procedure with, 16 people. And what you're going to do is you're going to put people out of work, because we're going to hire less people now.
You know, as far as customer service, I look at it this way. Chick-fil-A, one of the biggest, fast food outlets out there.
Right.
The average Chick-fil-A worker makes between $11 and $13 an hour.
Right.
I have not yet to see a Chick-fil-A worker with a bad attitude. Always pleasant, always willing to help. I think that's when you're dealing with situations like that, I think that poor customer service comes from the people that are hired. They need to do better background, better screening, hold these people more accountable. Because again, you have McDonald's workers that are making about the same as Chick-fil-A workers right now. And you get way worse service at McDonald's than Chick-fil-A. Why is that? Does that have anything to do with the pay? No, it has everything to do with management, with hiring. So I believe that could solve that problem right there as far as poor customer service. I think everybody should follow behind Chick-fil-A. Whatever Chick-fil-A is doing, everyone should follow.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. So once, like I said, great point. You know, on average, they pay $2 more an hour than McDonald's or Burger King or what have you. So it's the creme de la creme of fast food business. So the workers who are in that market for work, fast food work, if they can, they will work at Chick-fil-A. And what that $2 an hour more does is allow them to hold their workers to a higher standard. Now, what happens is once you make it, let's say you make it $15 an hour, and they pay the same exact thing as McDonald's and Burger King or what have you. Now they can't hold their workers to that standard, because when you tell them they got to do this extra, you know, nice attitude and all this other stuff, well, heck, I'll just go to McDonald's. Heck, I'll just go to Burger King. Right now, they're the creme de la creme. That's why you pay anybody more, because you want more from them. But if everybody is getting the same amount, then there's no way to hold your person to a higher standard.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But, you know, again, I just really believe it should be a standard. It should be a standard across the United States.
What should be the amount? What should be the amount? What do you think the amount for minimum wage? Because to me, minimum wage should be stopgap jobs. These are not jobs. You don't make minimum wage. I don't make minimum wage because we're not at minimum wage age, or we won't settle for that. Now, are we going to make minimum wage for something that the average person will just settle for? I mean, there's people that make $15 an hour right now, and they're in a career that have education. You know, certain fields just don't pay as much. I mean, skyscrapers, people that clean the skyscraper windows in some states make $15, $16 an hour. and you're 60 stories up, 56 stories up. You see what I'm saying? So when you start making things your bare minimum, I risk my life cleaning a skyscraper window.
That's ridiculous. I mean, because I know for a fact here in Maryland, I know a guy that actually does that, and he makes $29 an hour. Starting
skyscraper windows? Wow,
$29 an hour.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
$29 an hour. You know,
that's not bad.
But I mean, it's worth it. You're risking your life.
Right. Now, but back to my original point, what do you make it? Because is minimum wage not going to be a stopgap job anymore? You know, it's not going to be for like young kids or someone who just needs to get back hold on for a few minutes so they get back on their feet and get back. And then is it not going to have people want to pursue more. Let me get a more education. Let me pick up a trade. Let me learn more. Let me go to a job and work my way up. If I can just have $15 an hour, heck, jobs aren't going to pay you much more than that. A lot of places, they're not going to want to go more because they have to spread $15 an hour out to the people at the lower levels. So how much can they go to the higher levels? And also, that cost is also going to get spread to the customer. How much do you think a burger is going to cost at a burger joint when you're paying everybody $15 an hour? Can you say scratch the dollar menu?
Hey, look, man, I'm going to tell you like this. For a good burger, that's a whole nother story. But
it's going to be the bad burger. The bad burger is going to cost $7.50 for one tiny sesame seed bun with one tiny patty full of grease and a piece of fake cheese.
Yeah, see, you know what? I'm actually comfortable with I'm gonna say maybe 13 starting.
Wow.
13.
See, and once again, that's also where I have a problem. The government is just pulling numbers out their asses like you just pulled that out of yours. You see what I'm saying? Like we just make up a random number. Where's the data on that? Where are these numbers coming from? The businesses and the people regulate themselves. It's the reason the union works so well, because they tell the big plant that we're not working unless we get this amount. They have to give a raise. They can withhold work. They can go on strike, what have you. Same thing happens. If McDonald's right now said we're going to pay $2 an hour for cashiers, they won't get anybody to work for them. They have to make a number that is acceptable for people to accept. It kind of regulates itself. And if people were to work there and for a while and like, I'm not getting a raise, they would leave. It's fair market, fair trade. You see what I'm saying? But when you just throw numbers out the air, once it's $15, what's next? 20, 25, 30?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $15 an hour is roughly at the borderline of $30,000 a year. To say, would you like some fries with that? Let's be realistic here. Would you like some? Welcome to Walmart. The person in the front.
But see, but you know what? But to your point of view, this is the thing. The downside of the base minimum wage thing. A lot of companies, like you said, are going to either understaffed or they're going to go computers. Now, just prime example. We have here where I'm at, we have rural farm stores. Okay, and in the rural farm store, they just built one that's brand new. It's a brand new facility, and you're
right.
familiar with it too, Ross.
Right.
And it has no cashiers, not one cashier. Everything is self done. Like you go up, you punch in what you have to, you scan your barcode, you pay the system, it gives you a receipt, even when you order food. It's all done by machine. There's no cashier there. Now there's someone there to overlook everything to make sure, I call it babysitting, pretty much to make sure you bring everything up. But
right.
And I guess to help if the computer's not working correctly. But other than that, no. And you're going to see a lot of that. I see that now at McDonald's, where they have self-service kiosks is what they call it. But basically what it is we just replace the person's job. So you're going to start seeing more and more of those. I mean, you can see that in NBA now. So, the minimum wage is going to have its good points and its bad points. And some of the bad points is, a lot of companies are going to either go out of business or turn to computers, something like that, or understaffed, but for those companies that still need people, it's going to work itself out.
Get used to it, buddy. I think it's not going to help the economy. It's going to eliminate so many jobs, because if the goal is to make rich people and rich owners, I don't know if it's so much the small business owners, but the big owners to share the wealth, they're not going to do it. They're going to find all type of ways around it. And while we were talking there, I was pulling up some occupational wages because I wanted to be a little bit more accurate. So some of these, they don't really say exactly what they are. They just kind of say the fields from what I'm looking at here. And it's like production occupations. So they say that's around $12.61 currently. I'm just looking for occupations. A lot of installation, maintenance, and repair occupations are $15.27. Farming, fishing, and upholstery occupations are $9.89. These are just on national averages. Office administrative support occupations are $12.40. Sales related occupations. Now, granted, you make commission and stuff with these, but a lot of them start off around $9.52 nationwide. Personal care and service occupations, like I guess just sitting with people and stuff like that, $9.49. Grounds and ground cleaning, $9.91 to $11.81. Food preparation, $9.21 to $11.93. Like, protective services like security guards, $11.60 up to, oh wow, they can be up to $26 an hour. But just imagine some of these jobs are going to be making $15 an hour now. You're talking about the person that greets you when you go in a restaurant, so making $15 an hour now. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, you're going to make them get rid of all those positions. If I was paying you $9.21, I got to pay you $15 and say, all right, let me take you to your seat. I'm going to eliminate that position if I own a restaurant. You wait your ass right there until somebody who makes good money can get to you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Because, I think that this is going to be a situation that's going to need a lot of tweaking. So, even though we have difference in opinions on this one,
right?
I feel as though we're going to both be right. Oddly enough, but it's going to take time. It's going to take data. It's going to take trial and error for them to get it right. But I am very interested to see how it goes, because either computers are going to take over the world, or we're going to have a lot of happy people in customer service and McDonald's and Burger King working.
Yeah, so, we're going to go ahead and throw it out to you, listeners, let you guys see what you guys think about it. Like I said, it's an opinionated thing. It's kind of hard to really know for sure. It's just pretty much what you think. Any closing words there, Mr. Rich Blackman?
Yeah, I'm going to say, go Giants. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Hey, look, man, my thing is this, man. I just hope it all works out for the best. I just want everybody to, I just want them, the Congress or whoever's putting these laws into effect, just consider, consider the situation. And I think everyone should have the right to make a fair wage, man. And that's where I'm at with it.
All right. Well, my closing is, I believe that it should be a stopgap job for minimum wage. Nobody plans to be at minimum wage for a long period of time. You're stopping there until you can do better. Or it's a retirement position where you already got money coming in. It's just a little something to do. And I think we're going to eliminate that position, because $15 an hour, they're going to turn it into a skilled position. I think we're going to lose workers because they're going to cut down the workforce. But either way, we shall see. So we're going to get back at you guys pretty soon with some more topics at hand. Until next time, this is your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off with
Rich Blackman.
Until next time.
Peace.
As they say, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community. We discuss everything under the sun while bringing you that barbershop-style convo in a podcast. It's hosted by myself, Roscoe Squeezeoff, and my co-host, Rich Blackman. Please check us out on our Facebook page at The Barbershop Breakdown Show on Facebook. You can also join our private group from that very page. If you want to text us any of your comments or ideas, You can text us at 754-CALL-BBS, which is also 754-225-5227. We look forward to all your comments, all your ideas. If you have any topics or ideas you'd like to even be on our show, text us, communicate with us on Facebook. We can make it happen. This is the Barbershop Breakdown. You can go to our Facebook page, The Barbershop Breakdown Show. You can also friend us on Facebook by searching for Barbershop Breakdown. You can also go to us on Twitter at Barbershop B Down. And then you can email us barbershopbreakdown@gmail.com.